Baldur's Gate 3 now has multi-classing. That's right, if you like to experiment, you like to do several different classes all on one character, you now can. Now, it is definitely considered to be an advanced feature, so if you're a big D&D Dungeons & Dragons nerd, then Baldur's Gate 3 has you completely covered with the multi-classing. This is absolutely huge news. There's going to be some crazy builds, and just in the classes alone now, we have infinite possibilities, and I can't wait to see some of the builds people come up with. Multi-classing just completely changes the game. Baldur's Gate 3 is really shaping up to be the most amazing tabletop type experience on PC ever, and it's really just absolutely got me so hyped I just can't even contain myself. Baldur's Gate 3 and multi-classing, this was just a feature I thought was even beyond the scope of Larian Studios, with over 400 developers, ridiculous man hours put into this game over the course of 6 years. They pulled this off too, and it rocks my world. This is great for people that just want to kind of role play, you know, that they're a fighter class with mage abilities, which sounds freaking awesome. Battle mages. I mean, you can literally take the combinations of the classes and experiment and do whatever you want. Your wildest dreams can come true. Man, this is just absolutely insane. And to make dream class combinations, you can remove the ability score prerequisites, which means you don't have to have your charisma, like they say in the article, up to a certain like 13 to make a soul pact with a archfey or dangerous fiend. I mean, you can multi-class into anything that your mind wants to come up with. This means that you can have a spellcaster that also is a monk and can beat things up with their fist when things get too close. I mean, you can literally just make up any combination and multiple types of combinations of multiple types of classes. So every time you level up, you'll get to choose a different class if you want to spend points on. Now, I would like to say that this is a very advanced feature. So if you're a D&D player and you've done this before and you have some build that you've made up, please, first of all, let me know in the comments down below what it is. I love hearing about these class combinations. It's so cool. I just can't believe this is a feature for real in Baldur's Gate 3. They even said that there is a achievement for evenly spreading all your points into every class, which is like probably got to be the worst idea I've ever heard, but wow, if you can complete the game that way. Now, another very important part about this is that you can respec your class. So if you want to play and dabble around with it, you want to kind of know what it would be like to mix in a bizarre class of your choice, then if you make a bad mistake and it's kind of ruined your character, you can go to a certain NPC in the world and you can respec. Now, keep in mind there are 12 classes, 46 subclasses, and with multi-classing, I mean, my goodness, you are in for just absolute heaven for RPG fans. Larian really loves the kind of chaotic experimentation that can happen. They want people to find new combinations, and they want everybody to be able to find a play style and a role play that fits you and what you believe your character should be, and they're really not taking anything away from you. This is probably got to be the most open-ended RPG I've ever even heard of. As far as the amount of options that can happen, not just with classes, but in the storyline, absolutely everything about Baldur's Gate 3 is shaping up to be the most monumental, epic adventure of all time in the video game landscape. Now, if you want to multi-class, it is earlier in the game during Act 1, and you can actually just restart your build back from level 1 and re-spend those points, proficiencies, attributes, spells, and cantrips, however you choose. So you can feel free to just completely experiment around and do what you want. And this means people are going to be coming up with brand new builds, brand new ideas, and trying them out in real time. It's just going to be an absolute blast. Does this change what kind of class that you think you're going to be? Does this mean that you will now be trying something different that maybe you weren't planning to do before? I want to hear about it in the comments down below, but multi-classing is just such a big deal. I want to talk a little bit about multiclassing and some of the more popular things that people do, just to kind of give you some ideas and get those juices flowing. So Barbarian Druid is a popular choice because you can be tanky in the game, still get some of that damage mitigation, but you also get extra hit points from wild shape form, from the druid aspect. You have some resistance to damage, get advantages on attacks, you can convert spells into healing with bonus action, and being able to wild shape as a barbarian. The Barbarian Druid combination is a pretty cool idea. Now, of course, Fighter Wizard, the Battle Mage. Now, we all know that there is already the Eldritch Knight subclass, which already kind of is a War Wizard, Battle Mage kind of thing, but they don't get access to high-level spells. Whereas a Fighter Wizard multiclass, depending on when you spend those points and how much you dive into each one, the way that people typically do this in D&D is they do 2 levels of Fighter to pick up the heavy armor proficiency and defense fighting style, second wind, and action surge. Then they do all the rest of their levels into Wizard. This is a very popular pick for good reason. Also, the Sorcerer Warlock combo. This is actually referred to in the community as Coffee Lock, and with the combination of these 2 classes, you can get just an unlimited number of spell slots and basically break the game. Now, if they're going to allow that to happen, it may not be possible because you can only go up to level 12 in Baldur's Gate 3, so I'm not sure you'll be able to get to the point of breaking the game, but this is a really tight and awesome combination. Also, the Ranger Rogue. I mean, that just feels absolutely classic to me. Both classes are very dexterity based, getting some of that melee and some of that ranged mixed together, and the Ranger Rogue combo is pretty dang powerful. A Paladin Bard combo is also very popular. You get your Paladin levels up to around level 5, getting that extra attack that Paladins get, and then do the rest of the levels into Bard, getting you some higher level spell slots. And with this combination, you can do some really big, absolutely devastating single turn damage. Rogue Fighter is another big popular combination multi-class, able to put out some very ridiculous damage. You want to get at least 3 levels into Rogue for the Assassin subclass and the Assassin ability, and then all the rest into Battle Master Fighter is generally how this works. Another popular one is the Cleric Druid combination. This multi-class is where the Life Cleric and the Disciple of Life and Goodberry spells that you get with the Druid. This combination can give you a ridiculous amount of hit points, being able to restore them with the good berries, and with that Disciple of Life, you get that extra healing provided by 2 plus the level of the spell. So instead of Goodberry only giving you 1 hit point, it will now give you 4. Also, let's talk about the Cleric Wizard combo. So we're mentioning that Cleric in a lot of combos is going to be really good. It's going to make your Wizard be able to at least get some medium armor proficiency and even a little bit of heavy armor depending on how far into Cleric you go. Now, most of the time, you only take a single level of Cleric to get that boost in your armor proficiency, and then go all the rest into Wizard. Let me know what combinations you're thinking of doing, because I've really just talked about when you combine 2. Of course, with Baldur's Gate 3, you can actually combine more than 2, so that's probably going to open up some ideas that I've never thought of or even heard of. I would love to hear what you're thinking, and if you're going to multi-class or not. Let me know in the comments down below, guys. This is really exciting news, so I just had to make a video about it. If you enjoy Baldur's Gate 3 content, we're going to have a ton of it. We already do, and we're going to be adding more and more on the daily, because Baldur's Gate 3 is shaping up to be the ultimate RPG release, possibly of our lifetime. I can't wait for the beginning of August so we can start our adventures, and of course I'll be streaming it, etc. Please like and subscribe for more Baldur's Gate 3 content, and until next time, my friends, God bless and happy gaming. I want to give a very special thank you to the members of Napalm for your contributions month over month in keeping me full time. You help me pay the bills so I can keep streaming and pumping out content, and I truly appreciate all of you. Thank you so much, and I think you might be interested in becoming a member of the channel. Please click the join button down below the video for more information and join our family. And I want to give an extremely big shout out to the Lords of Napalm. Bounty code Jared Woodhouse, Daimlos, Farthest Reach, Sparrow, Christopher Hensel, Random Rob, Zelik Lived, Rodney Mom, Vander, Gallerine Moonsong, What's the Takeaway, Trips, Bad Wolf Gaming, Richard Glass, Chrono Guru, Kobold, and the Cyber Nomad Witcher. Thank you for your highest tier membership.